Right. Thank you everyone for joining us today as this call is going to be around migrating from iSchedule to iWorkflow. Most of you know who I am. I'm JT Fiedler. I am the product and sales advisor here at CSI, and I'm joined by Jacob Hepler, who is the service support specialist. So if you send in something from support, he's going to be your guy. So wanted to just touch on iWorkflow. So iWorkflow can be thought of like an iSchedule Plus or like an iSchedule on steroids. And what really drove us to create iWorkflow was actually from user feedback like yourselves. So a lot of organizations wanted to have the ability to link multiple iUpdate tasks together. There was some that needed logic of, hey, don't run this job until this one completes, having webhooks in Rise. And so there was a lot of different use cases and scenarios that we wanted, or well, that you wanted. So we went ahead and made iWorkflow. Now, iWorkflow currently has 3 triggers. So this is how you can execute a iWorkflow job to start. You could have it be manual, you could have it scheduled, and then you can also have that webhook capability. So you can put a webhook onto a Rise page or on, so when like someone clicks a button, that will trigger an iWorkflow job to start, or on a page load. So you can get creative with that. Now, iMIS is working on change notifications. And so once they release that and that is up and running, we will enhance iWorkflow as well as our iMIS Power Automate connector to handle having that as a trigger as well. Now, these are all of the iWorkflow actions you have available. So depending on which modules you have licensed or which CSI products you have licensed, these will be either accessible or it will say unlicensed. So the only ones that are not out of the box with iWorkflow is the red ones right here. This is when you would need our text manager solution. The insert activity, insert panel record, that would be for our iHook solution, which is another module in IDMS. And then the last ones are within our iTransfer module. So everything on the left side of the screen is out of the box iWorkflow. So you can obviously have IDMS, iUpdate jobs, interact with the iMIS API, among other things as well. So let's dive into migrating your iSchedule tasks. So here, you're probably familiar with this. This is just the CSI Cloud dashboard. And all we're going to be doing is using iSchedule and moving the jobs to iWorkflow. So here are all of our iSchedule tasks. And you'll notice that there's that top section that's legacy scheduled tasks. These are the jobs that we will want to move over into iWorkflow. We do have a date for iSchedule to be depreciated, and that's March 17th. But if you need additional time, we can always work with you if you reach out. So what we'll want to do here is we are going to migrate our existing iSchedule jobs into iWorkflow tasks. So the nice thing with iWorkflow is that, once again, you can nest multiple iUpdate jobs together. You'll notice some of these are varying times. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the hourly ones first. So unlock locked user accounts, create missing user credentials, and activity. So those are going to be the 2, and we're just going to click migrate to iWorkflow. This prompts you for a message saying, hey, you're about to add this to a new or existing workflow. This cannot be undone. We hit continue, and that's going to bounce us over to this workflow wizard. So we'll just go ahead, hit start. From here, we're going to give this iWorkflow a name. So we will just do hourly tasks. And once we do have a workflow name, we'll hit next, and then we'll schedule this to run. So we'll use that schedule builder. Since these are hourly, we'll click hourly. And then this gives us a summary. So we'll notice that unlock locked user accounts and create missing user credentials plus activity will be in this iWorkflow. We'll hit finish. And this is just simply creating the iWorkflow for us. So once again, we're going to have that scheduled hourly tasks trigger, and then you'll see the 2 steps with IDMS there. Now, if we go back to iSchedule, you'll notice there are the 2 jobs that we migrated. So they're not in that legacy scheduled tasks. Those have been successfully migrated into iWorkflow. What we will want to do now is address the daily ones. So daily login counts, daily member counts, deleting old user credentials, and updating expired associate members. So we'll just go check those off, and we will hit, once again, migrate to iWorkflow. This is going to prompt us for that same thing. We'll hit continue, and it's going to be the same process we just saw. So we'll say this one's daily tasks. We'll build this schedule to run daily, and you can customize when it should run daily. I'm going to just put it as 1 and hit apply. So this is going to run at 1 a.m. We'll hit finish. There we'll see all of the 4 steps. Hit finish. And what it's going to do is it's going to just add those 4 steps into an iWorkflow flow. So once again, just like we saw with the hourly, there's our daily task trigger. And there are the 4 IDMS jobs we have tied to that. We'll jump back to iSchedule, and now we are left with only 1 more to migrate over to iWorkflow. So we'll go, same process we've been doing, except this one is going to be monthly tasks. So we will just give the workflow that name, hit next. We'll schedule this to run monthly. We'll run it on the 1st. And there is that review, and we'll hit finish. There we can see there's that scheduled monthly task trigger and the monthly billing. You'll notice there that legacy iSchedule message is gone because we've migrated everything to iWorkflow. And here's the iWorkflow dashboard. So here's where you can see your various jobs. You have obviously the daily tasks. You can go into it. You can edit the steps if needed, hourly tasks as well as monthly tasks. So the nice thing here is you can see a iWorkflow job can have 5 steps. It could have 1 step. It's completely up to you of what makes the most sense.
Thank you, JT. So here are some important links and emails that we would like to give to you all. So I'll quickly go through them here. This top left one is our doc site, which houses all of our documentation for our products. So specifically for this webinar, you can access our iWorkflow and iSchedule documentation, which has some great stuff in there. And we usually provide it to you if you come with us to questions. So I would suggest going to those first if you run into any questions. Next, we have our listserv, which again is a way to communicate with other customers and clients about our products. We also put information there regarding updates to the products. So this is really important to be on, especially if you're looking to see maybe some kind of enhancement that you're hoping for or something in one of our products that isn't currently there. And on the right, we have our support and sales emails. So this is how you can send in a ticket and directly contact us with your questions, or if you're running into any issues. Specifically for support, that'll most likely be me who's addressing those questions. And sales will be more geared towards your product subscriptions, licenses, kind of how everything's configured in that sense. So we just wanted to provide these for you so you can have them and write them down so you have them in the future. And yes, and now that is the end of the webinar. So if there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat.
One question, not sure if this was addressed, but when will iSchedule fully retire? Great question. So when you license iWorkflow, we have penciled in a date of, I believe it's March 17th, that iSchedule will go away. So you have roughly a month. Obviously, during the migration process, like Jacob mentioned, you can always reach out to support@csiinc.com with any kind of questions or if you're running into any issues. But March 17th is what we penciled in. Now, if you can't make that happen, you can always reach out to support and we can work with you to eliminate having any potential issues or anything like that. So we can accommodate based off of your needs. iSchedule will not be like when you migrate everything to iWorkflow, iSchedule, you just won't see that tab on the menu and you would just access everything in the iWorkflow dashboard. So once again, if you have any questions or issues migrating or you need an extension, please reach out to support@csiinc.com and we can help you there. Any other questions or anything like that? Yes. All right. Well, this was a short and sweet webinar. Once again, I will send out the recording when it's done processing. But with that, I hope everyone has a great rest of their week.